Welcome to another episode of Plant Fanatics. Today we're looking at the quickest to fruit plants that you can grow in your cold hardy garden, so stay tuned.
This list is going to go over some of the fastest growing cold hardy fruiting plants on the planet. This is all my personal experience, and if you guys know of any cold hardy fruits that grow extremely rapidly and you want to share them, leave them in the comments below. I know everyone's going to appreciate it. First on the list is going to be the maypop. The maypop is one of those fruiting plants that you can actually start from seed and expect to get fruit in your first season. Keep in mind when trying to find the cold hardy version of passion fruit, you want to look for Passiflora incarnata, not Passiflora edulis, which is the tropical cousin of this fruit. Something else to consider when purchasing a maypop is that not all of them are great tasting varieties. Some of them are going to be nice and juicy on the inside and taste great, while others are bone dry. So you're going to want to ask the person that you're buying it from if they've tasted the fruit themselves, and if they tell you it's good, chances are that it is, although some people will try to scam you and sell you a terrible variety. Keep in mind that the maypop is a vining plant. You're going to want to put it on a trellis or a fence, preferably away from any garden you don't want it to take over. But once you find that right spot, it's a pleasure to have in the garden. It's cold hardy all the way down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 29 degrees Celsius, and it's going to give you a ton of fruit really fast. So this is a winner all the way around. Next up on the list is a peach. Now, peaches actually grow very quickly from seed, and the fruit is going to turn out somewhat true to seed, meaning you're going to get a fruit that tastes very similar to the parent plant. If you grow one of these from seed, you are going to have to put it through a cold stratification period, meaning that you put it in the fridge inside of soil in a Ziploc bag for at least 90 days in order to get its cold period out of the way. And then after that, all you have to do is put it in a nice pot of soil. It'll sprout up really quickly, and you can expect to get fruit within 3 years. For those of you who have messed around with growing plants from seed, you know that 3 years is not a very long time to wait, as most plants you could be waiting anywhere between 7 and 10 years and sometimes longer, so 3 years is not a long turnaround time. Peach trees are going to be cold hardy down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 29 degrees Celsius, though there are a few varieties that will survive zone 4 temperatures and they will bloom later in order to help you get fruit set. This is not going to be the norm. If you grow one from seed, you're going to want to expect a zone 5 cold tolerance. Next up on the list is one of my personal favorites, and you guys probably know it at this point, and it's the fig. While figs are not something that you're typically going to want to grow from seed, it is something that can be very easily rooted from cutting. You can expect a rooted cutting of a fig to give you fruit in its first year, and if not the first year, definitely the second year. When looking for a cold hardy fig, we want to find one that can die back to the roots every year, come back from the roots, turn into a bush, and give you a large crop of figs by the end of the season. If you've never grown a fig tree in your garden before, you're really missing out because they have the biggest, most beautiful leaves you've ever seen in your life, and it makes a statement piece in the garden, and not a lot of people are growing them in colder climates right now. They are becoming more popular, but they're definitely not common by any means. Something I really enjoy about the fruit of a fig is that there's so much variety when it comes to flavor. You can have a honey fig, a berry fig, a melon fig. There's definitely a fruit for everyone. These trees are cold hardy down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 29 degrees Celsius with the proper growing techniques. If you're looking for a good cold hardy variety of fig, go to theamericanfigcompany.com, where we specialize in cold hardy varieties of figs. Next on our list is the goji berry. While goji berry can easily be grown from seed, I do recommend that you get your hands on some cuttings. They root so easily from cutting. Why not do it that way? You can have fruit in your first year, and once again, if it's not in the first year, it'll be the second year. It has beautiful purple flowers that the bees absolutely love, and it's one of the most drought-tolerant plants that I've ever come across, so it doesn't get any easier to grow than this. There's a few different varieties of goji berries out there. You can get them in red, gold, or black, and while they're not my favorite fruit to eat fresh, they can be thrown into a smoothie, and the health benefits are out of this world. Cold hardy down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 29 degrees Celsius. You can't beat this plant. It's a great one to have in the garden, so give it a try. And last but certainly not least is going to be the elderberry. Getting your hands on some elderberry cuttings is going to be extraordinarily cheap, it's going to be easy, and they root extremely fast from cutting. Apart from the cuttings being easy to find and quick to root, they're also going to be very rapid growers, potentially giving you fruit in your very first year. The elderberry also has extreme ornamental value, putting out clusters of beautiful flowers that the pollinators are going to love just as much as you will. Keep in mind that they are partially self-fertile, meaning you're probably going to want 2 different varieties in order to get the largest fruit set, but once you have those 2 plants, you're not going to need any more. They're going to give you large crops of berries, and one of the greatest things that I like to do with them is turn it into elderberry syrup, which just helps boost your immune system during those winter months. You can also find fruiting varieties of elderberries that have black leaves and pink flowers if you're looking for something different. The elderberry is going to be cold hardy down to -40 degrees Fahrenheit or -40 degrees Celsius.
Thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and share with any of your friends who might be interested in the content. Thanks so much.